how more much entertaining it is than the NBA itself. I mean, even like, it's been crazy. Like, I was just playing with a guy today and I was telling him how bad, the NBA has been. And he's been like, man, have you watching the women's tournament? Man, da 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 da. And this is just a person I just met. You
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and on today's Throw Down Thursday edition, special March Women's Edition. Throughout the tournament, we're going to focus on the women's tournament here on our Thursday show. So in segment 1, best, worst, and most surprising. Segment 2, stories of the week. And in segment 3, we're going to try to preview, even though we only have 50% of the Final Four, we're going to try to make some good predictions. So George Acker, academic athletic consultant for the CK Save Project, what's the best thing you saw with the women's tournament this past weekend?
Probably one thing I couldn't stand too. Van Lith coming back to life and putting an end to the run. I was in shock. I was in shock, but I have to give her credit. She went from superstar Louisville, has goes to a LSU team that she just didn't fit in with, and just came back and did her thing out of TCU. And to take down Notre Dame and them that was huge. That was huge. Yeah, I think that they run. I think they played their tomorrow. They play their last game, but it's been a great run. I think she put herself back on that list of uh, good of the top picks for the WNBA. So yeah, I have to give her all the flowers right now. She did her thing.
All right, Robert, our favorite administrator, what was the best thing you saw this past weekend?
I kind of agree with that. I mean, Haley Van. Hey, I mean that's what you want. I mean that it's a great story, right? You have a star. She's been close to the top of the mountaintop. She's like, I gotta try. I gotta try to get there. She makes a bad decision. She goes into the valley. Things are bad, and she climbs her way back out. It would be a great story if they beat Texas and make the Final Four. Again, we're taping on Sunday. That game is tomorrow. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I do not. I love and I've said this before. I love the TCU coach. He was my niece's coach at Sacramento State. He's a great dude. She and my brother still talk to him regularly. So I mean, it's cool. I just I don't see that.
And we're on the same page with that. So one, Louisville's coach, Jeff, I always forget his last name. I'm sorry. Used to coach at Maryland, and they had some problems there. And at times he can be a little prickly. I can see her wanting to leave. Kim Mulkey can coach, but again, her style is not for everyone, and it really weighed on her. And this situation is just showing what investment and care into somebody's individualism and their needs and knowing what they need. And if we can remove barriers, yes, I'm being a teacher right now, kids, adults, everyone can thrive, not survive. They can thrive if you create that environment. So a tremendous environment has been created for her at TCU, and look at what happens when you invest in people. So George, what's the worst thing you saw this past weekend, sir?
Oh, I'm heartbroken. JuJu and that knee. That's the and it we got robbed. It robbed us. Not it robbed us of so much, man. And I was so looking forward to JuJu and that UConn game, and now yeah, JuJu was the worst, man. It just that was the worst. That was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking for me.
All right, Robert, what was the worst thing you saw in terms of the women's tournament?
I couldn't agree more. And since he just jumped on, I'm gonna pass it right over to him.
Yeah, give it to him.
Will, we're talking about your girl, man.
Oh yeah. Don't even need you even got to tell me what the worst is. So I'm gonna have to echo the third thing, man. But yeah, go ahead, Robert. Tell him what you tell him.
That's it, man. Just JuJu going down. That's it's a bad situation when anybody gets hurt. But like George was saying, we were primed for that game, USC, UConn, and went away.
Yeah. For
Just
me, in
just
terms of
hope
the
just
worst,
hope she can come back healthy. That's it.
Yeah.
yes. And in terms of me, was the worst. One, it wasn't a dirty play; it was a basketball play. So when the trolls and the internet go after a kid, we're sorry she's hurt. No one set out to do anything bad, but to have the kind of vitriol and just nastiness that they're treated that young lady with, you know, Robert, you can let us know because this is your profession. But I didn't think that was a dirty play. I thought it was a basketball play, and it happens. And I'm sorry it happened, but man, leave kids alone, man. That was the worst thing. Leave the
No,
kids alone.
I agree. I agree. Not a
When
dirty
we
play. It's a basketball play. It happens.
when everybody got this easy access to get behind the keyboard and be able to say whatever they want to, it just, I mean, this has been going on forever. You go look at the Fab Five and the letters they would get, but having the time to have to sit down, write something out, and put it in an envelope and mail it off is, it takes a whole lot as opposed to just going ahead and typing on the screen, and so you hear so much more about it, but it is ridiculous. These people, these armchair quarterbacks and stuff need to let it go, man. It was a basketball play. It happened, man. It's happened before and it'll happen again.
All right, Captain for Life, Will Cotton. I'm going to let you skip the worst because we told everybody. So, what was the most surprising thing you saw this weekend with the women's tournament?
How more much entertaining it is than the NBA itself. I mean, even like, it's been crazy. Like I was just playing with a guy today and I was telling him how bad, the NBA has been. And he's been like, man, have you watching the women's tournament? Man, da, 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 da. And this is just a person I just met, you know? So, I thought it was going to be tough. And I know March is NCAA time, but the women are really coming strong, man. And to come strong right now in March, where there's a lot of teams that should be jostling for playoff and things like that, and really like playing really hard, they're not. And what we're seeing is what we got. But man, that's a very happy, more surprising, and definitely well deserved for sure.
All right, Robert, what about you?
I To me, the most surprising thing was kind of how the end of the Duke South Carolina game played out. I thought, I mean, and we talk all the time about time and score situations, and I thought Duke they looked like they weren't prepared and like they'd never practiced in the game stuff before. They had the ball down to, they just need to score. They just need to score. They don't need a three. They just need to score. And they run a terrible high pick set. Nothing's happening. Guard jacks up a three, airballs it. They foul immediately. And I'm sorry, they don't foul. South Carolina calls timeout so they can advance the ball to half court, right? And we come out of the timeout and Duke is lined up for a free throw. And South Carolina just inbounds the ball, more time runs off. That didn't impact the game, but it just looked it. I was really surprised at how poorly prepared that made them look.
Yes.
Maybe that may just be me. I was really surprised by
And
that.
that's why people are happy about an inbounds play. Okay.
Yeah.
George, what's the most surprising thing for the second weekend for you, sir, for the women's tournament?
Nothing really with the women's tournament. I mean, after JuJu got hurt, a lot of steam came out of it, but your top teams are doing what they're supposed to do, much like the men's tournament, I think. Surprising was that the Yankees put up 15 runs again today. So that's the most surprising thing for me today. So, hey,
I love these guys. All right. So in
We just,
segment 2,
they just
we're
swept
going
the
to give
board.
JuJu advice. And we're going to start with Will with that. So we'll be right back on the Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond. And that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CK Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches Podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Coaches Podcast. And in segment 2, our story of the week is JuJu Watkins will miss the remainder of the season with the torn ACL. We want her to be a great patient and want her to get back and healthy, but she can come out next year because that'll be her 3rd year. So, Will, if you're advising JuJu, what do you say?
I mean, if it's like it was previously, I definitely would say jump to the WNBA. But with the amount of money with NIL, I don't think she has to make that jump when she wants to. I think she can be comfortable making $7 million. I mean, again, in the WNBA respect, she's actually taking a pay cut by going to the WNBA. So, to be honest with you, I think she also admires like Paige Buckets a little bit because Buckets could have left last year, but she stayed another one. She wanted to do her thing. And that seems to be a big thing for a lot of women players. Unfinished business kind of thing. Let me go back and get that championship, do a thing. To be honest with you, whatever whatever she decides is great. I hope she comes back because we would love to see her come back, come strong, make a run in the tournament, do the whole Cinderella thing, and then, go on to the sunset. But I think she should stay. Again, she's making another money. Nike's giving her money. She's making money from all kind of people. I've seen a couple commercials outside of that. So I think stay in, no reason to rush, So that's my 2 cents.
George, what do you think? How would you advise JuJu?
First, I'd wait to see what this collective bargaining situation that's getting ready to happen between the WNBA and the players does. But and in that time, if I'm JuJu, I'm not rushing back. I'm not rushing back to get on the court. I'm waiting until I'm fully healed. She's getting residual money. She's getting paid. So really, it's going to see what the landscape's like when I'm ready to come back, and then make a decision from there. I mean, it makes sense to stay another year and get and get all the money you can for right now, because as it stands right now, there's no reason to run to the WNBA. Now, when they go back to the bargaining table, if things change, then it might be something to take a look at. But I'm gonna wait until see. I'm definitely wait. I'm definitely gonna sit and pay attention to what this collective bargaining agreement is gonna look like if I'm JuJu, and then make a decision from there once I'm fully, because I'm not stepping on the court until I'm fully healed and ready to roll.
Okay, Robert, you're our administrator and you bring levity to us. If you're advising JuJu, what are you telling her to do?
I mean, she doesn't need to play next year at all.
Right.
She does not need to play next year. I I agree with what these guys have said. She needs to be fully healed. She doesn't have to rush back. She doesn't have to do like a 6-month rehab to get back. Nike's going to play that up. We're going to get JuJu working out ads, which, hey, she's getting her money, right? She's getting her money. I agree. I also agree with George in that, we'll see what the WNBA, what that collective bargaining agreement looks like. I think she'll stay because I think that's kind of been the mindset. Especially if she comes back next year and they don't win it. I definitely think she'll stay.
Yeah.
But it's hard to know. She doesn't need to come out. She's going to make more money in college than she is salary wise for sure. And, with endorsements, who knows? If she stays, I mean, she could be. I mean, she's not going to like set records like Caitlin Clark is, but in terms of like a cultural thing, I could see that.
She's probably that transcendent player because I see Caitlin Clark coming in as laying that groundwork and JuJu just taking it to the next level because they've already put her out there and up front like that. And man, if she gets, if she goes see the same Dr. Adrian Peterson went to and stay on that same, she'll be back stronger and better in no time. So there's no rush, man. I mean, the build up with her coming in, and this is where we gotta go back to it again. The WNBA has got to get this correct because they have the face of the league coming, and they got to do the build up the right way because Nike will, and they better be on par with Nike because this could be a total shift for the league for them, and where they pick up that momentum that was started by Clark and Reese and the rest of them and take it to a whole nother level. So,
yeah. So go ahead.
We're expecting a lot. That's a lot of the WNBA.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
So with me, I'm telling her, if I'm advising her, finish your degree in 3 like they used to do in Duke, because you're not going to play this year. Be at the games, street clothes, do your fashion, all of that. But I'm not playing college anymore. I'm going to play in Unrivaled in the fall, have a regular off season, and then get drafted. But I think Will is on to something in terms of she may want to be that one to bring a title back because USC hadn't had one since Cheryl Miller in the mid 80s, and the LA Olympics is coming up. So there's just a lot of opportunities.
Yeah,
a lot of opportunities forthcoming. But if it's me, bump the college thing, get that money and Unrivaled, get yourself back in shape because that's about 18 months of rehab, and it's 3-on-3 on a smaller court, and then go ahead and get a little more rehab, and then go ahead and be a professional. That's kind of, how I'm looking at it. But we wish you the best, though. Please be a good patient. And in segment 3, we'll talk preparations for Tampa and the Final Four. We'll be right back on the iCoaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Keith Adams, and for years, I've witnessed the struggle student athletes face on how to truly balance the demands of academics and athletics. It's a question that I have dedicated my life to answering. That's why I wrote Finding the Balance, my personal journey to academic and athletic success. It's more than just a book. It is my personal journey, and it is filled with hard-earned lessons from decades as a coach, educator, and now president of the CKA SAFE Project. Inside, you will find practical advice, real-life stories, and a clear roadmap to help student athletes, coaches, and parents navigate the complex world of balancing sports and education. And now I am thrilled to bring this message to a wider audience as a proud member of the Cascade Sports Network. We're partnering to amplify these crucial conversations about student-athlete success. I believe every student-athlete deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential, both on and off the court and the field. You can purchase your copy directly from our website at www.ckasafeproject.org. Join me and the Cascade Sports Network as we work together to help every student athlete succeed. Welcome back to the iCoaches Podcast in segment 3. Not as good as last year, but games across the networks have averaged 367,000 viewers during this year's women's tournament first round. The figure is down 22% from last year, the Caitlin Clark unicorn, but it's up 43% from 2023. So again, that's really, really good, because you can't really count last year, because that Caitlin thing was a monster and a machine. So in terms of the Final Four, we tape on Sunday, and South Carolina has made it through, and UCLA, they're really good, have made it through as well. So we're just going to try to do predictions on who we think is going to win the Final Four. And I'll start with you, George. Who do you think is going to cut down the nets?
I see. I hate to say this. I see Texas, and I see a Texas UCLA, and I see UCLA cutting it down. I'm pulling for Paige now that Juju's gone, and not playing. I was, I would have been I would have thought that USC was, because USC has done it before where they could get it done, and it would have been a slugfest with them in UCLA. But without them there, I think that UCLA team's good, man. They are good. They are really
tough,
good,
man. They're tough. Robert, what do you think? Who's going to cut down the nets in Tampa?
Well, I think we're going to see South Carolina beat Duke. We're going to see South Carolina beat Texas, just as they did in the SEC championship. They're going to beat them again. And UConn is going to take care of UCLA. And we're going to get to see if UConn can take South Carolina's lunch money again. And I'm saying they can't.
That's the booking right there.
That's the TV ratings monster.
That's the booking right there. Will Cotton, what do you got, sir?
I'm gonna go with South Carolina.
They're not as good as last year, though. They're struggling right now.
They're not.
They're struggling.
But when the lights turn on, the lights get bright. They've been there. This is good for UCLA. I think, obviously amazing, but when the lights get turned on, man, I mean, all of a sudden, I'll keep it personal. Look at St. John's. When the lights really got turned bright, they weren't making nothing. They weren't hitting nothing. And that happens sometimes. So I think based on the magnitude of the size of the game, I'm gonna go with the Carolinas done it, and they're gonna go in and win like they're veteran champions. So give me the Gamecocks.
Go ahead, George. I'll say the one reason I'm on UCLA. UCLA is gone in everybody's house and busted.
Yes.
And so that team is good.
That team is good. That's the best team I've seen this year. But if we're booking it and we're doing entertainment, South Carolina, UConn rematch in the finals, ratings go up. But UCLA and Texas are the better teams right now, playing right now at this moment. But I want the well booked final with South Carolina and UConn. With South Carolina getting their payback.
I just don't have any faith in Vic Schaefer at Texas. I don't know. I don't know. Is he overcoaches? I don't know if they're not every time they get in a close game. It's kind of like Bruce Pearl. Every time they get in a close game.
And I understand, Robert. I understand.
Yes.
I
No
understand.
lies told. No lies
No,
told.
there's not. Because they did like that SEC championship game. They folded like a wet napkin. But for me, forget Texas is just a placeholder for me because I think UCLA gonna run roughshod through this thing, and it's gonna be.
Good.
It is what it is. So
I'm just happy they beat LSU, but that's my Mike King petty.
and everybody was healthy. LSU had everybody healthy, so they were good. They were up there. Man. So
It's just my Mike King petty. All right. So fans, Robert and I will be in San Antonio at the men's tournament, but we will find a place to watch the women's Final Four on Sunday. It might be in that background there. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Looking forward to hanging out. Looking forward to doing some research. Looking forward to getting the post-grad ready because we will have a women's component of the post-grad. So on behalf of our Cavalcade of Stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, also seen on the Cascade Sports Network. And we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach FRANCHIZE. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.